Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's live. I'm Christine Jossie of Mail Something Pretty, and I want to thank you for joining me and everyone else who's going to join in just a few seconds. Every Wednesday, I go live at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, pretty much every Wednesday, and I'd love for you to join me. So if you're new, welcome. If you're watching the replay, hello. It just takes a few seconds to get people on here. And I just want to make sure, I always like to make sure that my sound is working and then you can see me. So if anyone's on, write in the comments that all is good to go, and then we'll get started with the project. I'm excited. I saw a similar project online. Oh, great. Hi, Nancy. Excellent. We are good to go. I saw a similar project, and I think her name was Tammy Wilson. I put it in the description, and she's an artisan on the Stampin' Up! Team, and I just loved what she did. And it goes in line with my, I'm kind of doing a product spotlight on the Designer Series paper since it's on sale this month. It's 15% off almost every pack. So I'm just trying to do projects that go with that. All right, we are good. Carol's here, Nancy's here. Perfect. All right, so let's see if more join in. It's, I know, becoming summer months, so people are going to be going away or have plans, and that's fine, and that's why we have the replay. Alrighty, so let me switch here to my desk. All right, good. Okay, so let me actually show you quickly the papers that are on sale. There we go. So they are, this is the new 2023-2024 catalog. So starting on page 129, it's all of these papers. So all these three, a lot of them. All of these three, I'm pretty sure that one is. All of these three, this is a great one for Father's Day, if you, or I mean anytime, but if you have any fishermen in your lives, that's really nice paper. And these three are all on sale. Plus there's one more that's in the online exclusives section. What's it called? I think I just ordered some actually. I forget what it's called, but there's one set in the online exclusive that is also 15% off. All right, Debbie's here. Hello, Debbie. Excellent. We have a good group. Let's see. I'll make my kind of announcements at the beginning and the end. So 15% off Designer Series paper. There's a if you join during June, you can get an extra products in your starter kit. So for $99, instead of choosing $125 of products, which is great anyways, you get to choose $155 worth of products. So that's going on. And the last thing is going on to kind of go along with the paper sale. If you order, oh, I can do this. Hold on a second. If you order any papers by the sale papers by June 16th with this host code, I will send you free this PDF. So I printed it, but that's kind of what it looks like. So I give you 3 cutting designs and some card layouts, more cutting designs, some card layouts, and there's 3 of them. So that's kind of what the tutorial looks like, and it's online or you can print it. So sometimes it's nice to actually see what it is before you go for it. But if you use that host code, that is what it is. All right, so I'm going to back. Oh yeah, I can leave that on there. Perfect. Oh, thanks, Carol. I think something like that. Irresistible Blooms. It's something like that. We have 2 Carols. Hello, Carol Donovan. Nice to see you live today. All right, so I saw a card very similar, not exact, but very similar to this, and I just thought it was really cool. And I liked how they did the strips of the pattern papers and then they cut it out with a die. So that's kind of what I'm going to show you today. And I also have a few variations, but isn't that pretty? It uses the new Bubble Bath Designer Series paper. I had shared it actually maybe 2 weeks ago, on my page. I can certainly share it again and show you the pictures, mine next to hers. She used a different embossing folder, and she used different white dyes. So this is what we do, right? We kind of adjust to what we have, and we make the best we can. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. And again, I have 2 other variations, but I just wanted to show you how I did it. So I've already cut my strips of paper. I cut them a 1/2 inch You can do whatever, but I think, like, this is the die that I use. 1/2 inch strip works pretty nicely because then you're seeing multiple patterns. She also had one with a heart, and she used, I think she even wrote love, so L with a heart instead of O with a VE. But I don't have those alphabets, so you can do all different shapes. And she did use this pattern paper, and it works. This is actually like the only pattern paper I have right now. I have to order some myself. But this is called Delightfully Eclectic. You get 48 sheets in this pack, so you get 4 of each pattern, and this is one of the ones on sale. So you get, they are a little eclectic. They kind of have similar colors, but they don't all go with each other, but a lot of them go with each other. Let's just show you what they look like. I think there's 12 patterns. Yeah, there's 12 different patterns. A nice set of, let's see, I think there's a few. You get alphabets, you can cut those out if you wanted to type something. You have hearts, not type, you write something. They look like typewriter keys. That looks like quilting. You get like notebook paper. Yeah. Daisies. I haven't looked. I don't know if that lines up with the daisy dies. I didn't look. That might be, I think that's all the patterns, but you get a lot in the pack. So we actually been using it for club because I needed extra paper. All right, so I'm gonna put this, I think you can still see, yeah, you can still see it there. Here you go. So for this one, actually, let me show you the real one. What I used. There you go. So I cut my strips that 1/2 inch, but I did them by 6 inches wide, and then I just cut white paper, just basic. I didn't use thick because it'd be too thick. And then I glued them all down. So this one's just a smaller one. But let me show you what I did. Reverse here so I can see what I'm doing. Yes, Carol, the paper is perfect for classes because you get a lot. So what I'm going to do is actually just kind of zigzag my glue kind of far down and just make sure you can see. I think you can see. Rather than do one strip at once, and I'm just going to do the order that they're in, it was a little easier to zigzag them. And that way, somewhere along the way, you're getting glue on some part of the paper. And then this goes together really fast if you do it that way. Otherwise, if you put in glue on each one, it just takes a little longer. Just don't put your hand on your paper, because then you get glue everywhere. All right, so you can see this is pretty easy. And then I'm just going to repeat my pattern. Make sure it presses in there. So you get the idea, right? So I can just go all the way. Actually, I'll just go all the way where I have my glue. Because if I don't, I'm sure I would put my hand in it. But you get the idea of, you can repeat the patterns. You could kind of make your own little different pattern, alternate. All right, that's where the glue ends. So that's where I'll stop for right now. So you let dry for a minute. It really doesn't take that long. Actually, I have one cut, but let's just cut one since I have my little mini machine here. We can cut one, and let me put my cap on my glue. Hello, Cheryl. Thanks for joining. All right. So I know I've told you this before, but I have written with paint marker which ones work with which ones, because for the mini machine, it's a little finicky. So sometimes it always doesn't line up with what it says. So you figure out. So die cutting, use this plus 2 clear. That's pretty specific. I think normally it says to use the white one, but my gray one worked better. And by doing it this way, it just works much easier. So if you have the mini machine, just kind of play with it and just write directly on your plates. All right, so I could use this die. Is from Nested Essentials. I like it. I haven't actually had a chance to play with a lot of my products I pre-ordered We pre-ordered them and then it kind of went away. So this is kind of fun to use new products. So I put it on the diagonal. You could certainly do it straight, but I do kind of think it has some nice interest on the diagonal. And I'm going to put that like that. And it should go through. Why is it not going through? Hold on. Move that over. This works better with the not a paper surface, but I have my. Hold on. There we go. It's hard doing it on camera. Like I need 3 hands. All right, so I just wanted to show you that it cuts through nicely. It comes right out. And it even still has, well, you can see it still has some stitching along the edges, which is nice. If you were going to use a punch, because I know not everyone has a Stampin' Cut machine, I actually don't have a punch up here. You could try it. Because using the basic white, it's thinner, so you might be, in the designer paper is thinner, so you might be okay. I'm sorry, I didn't check that out ahead of time. And so what I'll do is I'll continue the strips going down. Oh, actually, I might even be able to squeeze another one. I think I can squeeze another one in there. So that's good. This one I'm able to get 4, just because I did it bigger. All right. So let's, a little out of practice here. I'm going to get messy and I'm going to lose things. That's all right. So yeah, see, I did one. And so they're all different depending on the pattern. This one I included this piece and this one I had the stripe. So they're all a little bit different. All right, like I said, this is the bubble gum. No, it's not. The bubble bath paper. It's pretty. It's like both pink and purple. It's almost lilac-y. And so I already embossed with, and I didn't look up the name, but this is the embossing folder. So what I did is, because I wanted a good part of it, so I just kind of placed my paper up the top. But it's kind of nice that you have that blank space so it looks like the sky. All right, and the other thing I did, I think for the one I'm copying from, and I wish I could like show you a picture, but I'll post it again. I think she put it up on dimensionals because it looked like there was a shadow in her photograph. But I want to use dimensionals here, and I could even use dimensionals, so it's going to get too thick. So what I did was, this is like one of the first things I learned. Just use your fingernail and just scuff up the edges. And that way, it kind of, because I'm tone on tone, it breaks up the two similar tones. And I like the tone on tone, but it just breaks it up a little bit. And I think you can use, some people used to use scissors. I don't trust myself to do that. I'd probably cut myself. But I have short fingernails. I joke with my daughter. I said I have gardener fingernails because hers are long and pretty and mine are not. Okay, so that just kind of breaks it up a little bit. Gives a little bit of, it's different, right? Flat and bumpy. So this I'm going to just glue down. Cheryl, give me a second and I will look it up because I don't remember. I'm still like in a brain fog. I'm still, believe it or not, I still have that rocking sensation I talked about last week when I was on the cruise. So it's been a week and a half and I still feel like I'm rocking. Where did the catalog go? Let's look it up because I don't remember the names of them. I love embossing folders. So over time I try to get all or most of them. It is called, it's right here, Painted Posies 3D. And it does not have an N, so they must have offered it last year. But it's nice. It's a good background one. All right. It looks, yeah, because you could even just do like a little something, and that would be enough. But we're going to do more. All right, I already pre-cut. I didn't take out these little pieces. I'll show you where these came from. This is going to be one of my favorite die sets, I think. These popped really easy, and they have a little cutting, but they're still there, so it's a nice little texture. Get these out, and then I'll show you what it's called. All right. It is from, someone's honking. It is called, the bundle is Gorgeously Made. So that's the stamp set that goes with the dies, and those are also called Gorgeously Made. I love that they now call them the same thing. Makes it so much easier. The one that I'm copying from used a different, it was a flower. It was really pretty. It was a flower kind of delicate dye, like the thin, but again, I didn't have it, and so I adjusted. So you can kind of play with where you want them. Here, I think I actually did it this way on my first card. I think I liked it better that way. You can see more. Yeah, that kind of works. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of lift these up. A little there. Lift this one up. Because you don't have to glue the whole thing. You just want to make sure it doesn't move. So this piece I'm going to glue on top. Oh, so I have glue there, so now I know I have to cover that up. All right, so that's stuck enough. So I have glue here, so that's going to get covered up. So I'm going to put dimensionals on that piece because I like them raised. Yeah, Nancy, I am still rocky. I guess it has a name. I don't remember what it's called. So it could be there for weeks, but I'll say it's not as bad as it was. It comes and goes, but oh well. The cruise was worth it anyways. All right, so I have already, she did it in gold. She used the Just For You, and the Hello came with the stamp set. The Just For You, I have it here. This one I use fairly often. Charming Sentiments. So there's the Just For You. Because I thought I did this one as a birthday. I embossed the inside, and that's also, I use this probably the most out of the set. Right here, I like it. So I will probably do the same thing because I know I'm going to have some summer birthdays. So save that hello for something else. Actually, I'll save it for that one. And I am going to raise this one up. I meant to, and I just forgot. And then I'm going to show you this really cool ribbon idea. All right, so that I'm going to put right there. And what she did, she used this ribbon, which I love, called, what is it called? Bordered ribbon. It's Native Navy, but I'm not using this one because we're using this for club on Monday and I won't have enough. But I had, this is older ribbon, which is the denim ribbon, and it's pretty close, right? And again, it doesn't matter what you use on your card, but I'm just trying to mimic the idea. So what I did was, and she did it on her sample, I just cut it in half. So that's it cut in half. And this one actually cuts in half really nice because you have the border on either side, so it looks really cool. So what I'm going to do is just take some of the frayed part off. There we go, just to give it, so now it has a little white to it. And I'm going to use some linen thread. I'm just going to, see how curly it is? You just take it and just pull it, kind of take some of that curl out. All right, so I'm going to lay that down. I'm going to take, I don't know how long that is. It's probably around 12 inches. I'm just going to have a little tail. You can play with it a little bit. And I'm going to wrap it around my fingers. So that doesn't quite make it up, but if you rotate it, it does. So I'm just going to pinch it together and tie a knot. Let's see if I can do this on camera. All right. Put that more in the middle. And then I'm going to tie another knot just to make sure it's not going anywhere. So that's how she did her bow. Oops. Oh, darn it. That's all right. So you can kind of play with it a little bit. And then we just put it on top. When I tied my second knot, that went in the wrong direction. We'll just put the glue dot down there. Okay, so I have glue dots, tweezers. These ones go this way. Okay. So I'm just going to put a glue dot in the corner of that right there. Stick that on top and fluff it up a little bit. And you can either leave these strings long, or you could I'll trim mine a little bit. Kind of like them long. So voila. Here is a pretty, oh, we need little things. I brought butterflies up for this one. She had different jewels. Again, I just kind of used what I had. So, oh, you know what? This works better with these. Putty one. Put a butterfly up there. And the brass kind of goes nicely with the gold. Let's see, I'm just going to put butterflies everywhere. Let's see, that's 3. I think we need more though. Oops. It's always hard for me to decide where to put them. Okay, that's good for now. So the jewels really kind of added to it. So let me show you my other variations. If I can find them here. So this, I did the same card, it's just different colors. So I did, it's the same pattern paper that we did. I used a different embossing folder. I don't know that timeless textures or something like that. I did the same scuffing of the edges. This is Misty Moonlight, and that is Bubble Bath. And then I just used a thinner ribbons, right? Because we cut this one in half to make it thin. So they already have some of the last year's ink colors. Isn't that crazy? That's supposed to be Sweet Sorbet, but looks more like Bubble Bath. So it's almost the same, but just show you different colors. And the other one I did, move that one out of the way. I used, I almost did like all tone on tone. So this are Parakeet Party of the Designer Series pack from last year. I mean, it's still current. Last year's in colors, but this year's patterns. But I did the same thing. I just did strips and then that. So it's kind of nice having just one color. So then I did the Parakeet Party. No, I'm calling it the wrong thing. Tahitian Tide. Sorry. Tahitian Tide. This is also Tahitian Tide ribbon. Look at the difference though. And I just used one of the, oh, this one I used one also. So I used 2 on this one. I used flipped about. But look at this edging. This is what I think is really cool. And this is what I'm going to use. So it's the same gorgeously made bundle. So you get this really cool dies in here. See, these 2 I love. There was one similar to this with Forever Ferns that I used a lot. So I was happy to get 2 of those. You get a label. And so I know I've showed you before, you stamp on one side, you cut it out, and then you kind of recut it by just shifting that over. And then you get these 2 edgings. So you get one that makes it look like a notebook paper, which is really cool. And then you get this other one, it's just kind of like jagged. So those are the dies I used to go with this one. So a total different look, but kind of that, let me move it around. Same card. So let me put those, I'll take pictures too and put them. So kind of cool. Oh, and then you get this negative piece. I'll have to think something to do with it. Or maybe I'll just get rid of it, but that you get that negative piece from that die. Alrighty, so that's what I had to show you. Let's see. Oh, good. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, it's perfect, Nancy, for scraps. I mean, I kind of cut my scraps, but everyone has scraps, so it's really good because this one, you only needed, I think this is 3 inches wide. So that's not much of a scrap. You know, I mean, you know what I mean? You'll have scraps of that size. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my color combinations. That's probably one of my favorite things is playing with color. All right. So that's what I had to recap. There is a 15% off sale. I'll show you. I'll put my face on in a second. On the designer series papers. They kind of did them this year. All the specialty papers are on their own page. Well, those are kind of separate. And then, oh, I don't know where they are. The other special papers are on their own page. So not these ones. These ones, all of those ones, and those ones are all on sale, 15% off. And then if you use the host code that's up there, I will, by June 16th, I'll send you my tutorial. I just automatically email it to you. And I think that's it. Let me put my face on here again. There we go. And then also the join offer. And I'll write more about that too, but joining Step It Up is always a good thing. And you get more free products this month if you do it during June. Alrighty, so I think that's what I had for you. Thank you very much for joining me. I will see you next week. Next week I'm going to do one of our club projects, but in different papers. We're going to do the with designer series paper. We're going to do the rip and flip technique. So stay tuned for that. Have a wonderful week, and if you're near the Canadian fires, I know our air quality is pretty poor today, so stay safe. You don't want to breathe in some bad air, so stay in and craft. Perfect. Okay, have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys next Wednesday. Bye-bye.